Good morning. You may be seated. Honored graduates of the class of 2023, parents, family members and friends, members of the Board of Trustees and members of the faculty and staff, welcome to Washington and Lee University's commencement ceremony. We're here today to celebrate our graduating seniors, but our graduating seniors are here today thanks to many other people. Would the parents of today's graduates please stand? Would the grandparents join them in standing? Siblings, aunts and uncles, cousins, friends. I ask the graduates to contemplate this ocean of love and support and join me in thanking those who've given so much of themselves for the sake of your happiness and success. Thank you all. Commencement is many things. This ceremony marks the opening of a new chapter in the life of each member of the class of 2023. You're about to be college graduates, and commencement is a recognition of your notable achievement. The diploma you will receive formally certifies that you have met the rigorous requirements established by our faculty to earn a degree from Washington and Lee. Commencement is a celebration. It's a sad goodbye. It's an exciting launch to new places and possibilities. It's an opportunity to reflect upon what you have done and what you hope to do. Commencement is above all a glorious day, and I invite us all to pause for a moment and simply bask in appreciation of the place that we are privileged to be and the occasion that brings us here. To the parents, 2 days from now, I will be sitting, as you were doing this morning, watching my daughter graduate from college. I will be hoping the president's speech is not better than mine. But the main thing I will be doing, like you, is bursting with pride. This is a moment to celebrate how far your children have come, to reflect upon all the ways that they have developed and matured, especially here at W&L, but also since they learned to ride a bicycle, or lost their first tooth, or set out awkwardly for a middle school dance. I thank you for entrusting us with the most cherished part of your lives and allowing us to get to know these wonderful young people who are a constant source of inspiration to all of us at Washington and Lee. To the graduates, I am grateful for our time together. You have made a powerful and positive impression. I've watched you win ODAC championships and earn Scholar Athlete Awards. I've seen you perform plays and heard you sing. I've lost count of the academic fellowships and honors that you've won. You've shared your love of this place with me. I hope you will remain connected to Washington and Lee and return to campus frequently. I will always look forward to seeing you and to hearing how things are going for the great class of 2023. It's now time to thank some people who deserve special recognition. Those of you graduating today owe much of your education to our dedicated faculty and staff. Members of the faculty and staff have guided you, supported you, and sometimes been astonished at what you have achieved. Members of the class of 2023 and guests, would you please join me in thanking these dedicated individuals? I also want to offer a very special thanks to everyone who works in facilities, dining services, and public safety. Their overtime efforts to make this an unforgettable weekend is the last and most meaningful of the many gifts they provided to you during your time at W&L. Thank you. I'd like to give special thanks to those faculty and staff who will retire at the end of this academic year. Each has served the university and all of our students with distinction. I will ask each retiree to rise, if present, when I call his or her name, and ask them to remain standing until all are recognized. Please hold your applause until all the names have been announced. I will call them in alphabetical order. Scotty Ashworth, Ellen Austin, Tom Camden, Gavin Colleton, Gregory Cooper, Hank Dobin, Rob Fury, Russell Joins, Jim Kahn, George Kester, Mike Mayo, Jim Moliterno, Bill Patch, Lucy Rainey, Shirley Richardson, Wanda Scott, Sean Shaughnessy, Louise Uffelman, and Debbie Weiner. Collectively, they have contributed 474 years of service to Washington and Lee. Thank you. I call your attention to the printed program. There you will find a list of students who have won special honors and awards. Those honors and awards represent the stories of dozens of individuals who've excelled in many ways. This is also the time when we recognize the senior who has achieved the highest academic standing and has been designated by the faculty as the class valedictorian. This year we have 4 seniors to recognize. Our co-valedictorians are Walter Henry Barden, Anna Elizabeth Blackburn, Mary Elaine Graham, and Jason Gu. Henry, I will ask each of them to rise in turn and say a bit about each of them. Henry, will you please rise? Walter Henry Barden, a Johnson Scholar from Manikin-Sabot, Virginia, graduates summa cum laude with his Bachelor of Arts in East Asian Languages and Literature and a creative writing minor. Henry served as a community English class coordinator with English for Speakers of Other Languages, was a leader in the Chinoyu Tea Society, is a member of Phi Beta Kappa, and wrote for the Ring Tum Phi. Henry received the Robinson Award in Languages. Following graduation, Henry will move to Wilmington, North Carolina to work as a business analyst at Live Oak Bank. Congratulations, Henry. Anna, will you please rise? Anna Elizabeth Blackburn, a Johnson Scholar from Jefferson, North Carolina, graduates summa cum laude with honors in English. Anna has worked as a peer consultant in the Writing Center, a research help associate in Leyburn Library, a Rockbridge youth literacy tutor, and is a member of Phi Beta Kappa. Anna has received the Catherine Houston Campbell Scholarship in English Literature, the Jean Amory Warnham Award for Distinguished Critical Writing, the Mapleson Award, and the Robinson Award in English Literature, History, and Social Sciences, and the Sidney Cowling Award for Best Senior Work. Anna will begin a PhD in English at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in the fall. Congratulations, Anna. Meg, will you please rise? Mary Elaine Graham, a Johnson Scholar from Clarksville, Maryland, graduates with her Bachelor of Arts in Sociology and Anthropology, pre-medical track. Meg played French horn and acted as a section leader in the University Wind Ensemble and Orchestra, served as a peer counselor, was a community service vice president in the Delta Society, and swam for 2 years on the varsity swim team. Meg has published numerous research articles on assisted reproductive technology, volunteered with music outreach in Baltimore, and served as a nursing assistant in free clinics. Meg is a member of Omicron Delta Kappa and Phi Beta Kappa, and has received the James McDowell Award, James Jenkins Livesay MD Pre-Medical Award, the W&L University Orchestra Award, and the O. Kendall White Jr. Prize for Excellence in Sociology and Anthropology. Meg will be attending the Wake Forest University School of Medicine in July. Congratulations, Meg. Jason, will you please rise? Jason Gu, a Johnson Scholar from Randolph, New Jersey, graduates summa cum laude with a double major in accounting and economics. A member of Lambda Chi Alpha and Phi Beta Kappa, Jason served as a head career fellow in the Career and Professional Development Office and also an associate director of the Williams Investment Society. Jason has received the Accounting and Finance Department Award in recognition of his outstanding performance. Following graduation, he will work at Bank of America as an equity capital markets analyst in New York City. Congratulations, Jason. We're privileged now to hear remarks on behalf of the graduating seniors from one of their classmates, Executive Committee President James Torbert. A Johnson Scholar hailing from Auburn, Alabama, James earned his Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy with a minor in Law, Justice, and Society. During his time at W&L, James has been involved in a number of activities. He competed for 2 years on the varsity tennis team. He worked on 2020 mock convention, conducting political research for North Carolina. He served as a university ambassador, giving tours to prospective students, and as a development ambassador. He also joined Cathicon, our student alumni relations organization, and the senior class gift committee. James was first elected president of the executive committee as a junior after serving as a sophomore class representative. He was re-elected to a second term as EC president for his senior year, making him the first student to ever serve back-to-back terms in that role. Next year, James will be attending the University of Virginia School of Law. Please join me in welcoming James Torbert.
Thank you, President Dudley. Good morning, everyone. I want to begin by saying what an honor it is to be given the opportunity to speak before you all. I also want to thank all of those who made this event possible. I spent a lot of time wondering what I could possibly say in this speech, but first it feels most appropriate to try to give everyone a snapshot of what life has been like for the class of 2023 while at W&L. In September of 2019, around 450 students arrived in Lexington, Virginia from across the country and the world to unload boxes and decorate dorms. For many students, this was the first time away from home and parents, the first time with immense responsibility and freedom. At Convocation, we all met on this colonnade and sat in these seats to hear from President Dudley. While I do not remember what all President Dudley said, one thing I do remember was his famous statistic that he shared with all of us. I may butcher his exact phrasing, but essentially he said, 90% of you were in the top 10% of your graduating class in high school. Now, 90% of you will not be in that same category here. Right off the bat, I remember thinking about just how incredible this group of students is, but just how intimidating that statistic can be as well. Over the next 4 years, this class made significant accomplishments in all areas of academic and extracurricular life. Our class helped develop new student organizations that support not only W&L, but also local communities. We maintained long-standing traditions of the honor system, bringing high-quality speakers and artists to campus, and engaging in the speaking tradition. We conducted research that is being published and will be continued to be pursued. We won ODAC championships in soccer, tennis, basketball, lacrosse, swimming, and more. Not only were we immensely successful while we were here at W&L, we also have exceptional futures ahead of us. Our class includes W&L's 18th Rhodes Scholar, 12 Fulbright Scholars and counting, multiple Boren Scholars, as well as students working at the most prestigious companies and institutions in the world. We should all be proud of the extensive success of our class. While our time here has warranted recognition, it is also important to think about all that has happened to us while we were here at W&L. Our class saw the creation of a number of new academic disciplines, including the Law Justice Society, as well as data science minors. We witnessed the wasteland that was Third Floor Commons turn into a beautiful new space and benefited from the massive expansion of the Duchossois Center and Doremus Gymnasium. We even saw the town of Lexington itself develop immensely. I do not want to give a long-winded speech about COVID, and I know no one wants to hear about it, but I'd be remiss not to mention it. For over a year while we were enrolled at W&L, we were impacted by the pandemic. We had to fully adapt our academic and social lives in an entirely new way. It was definitely not a time that anyone wants to remember, but it is something we will not forget. Our college experience was in part very different from the experiences of students before us, but that's what makes our class unique. Going through a really challenging and confusing time has created a shared bond within our class that many former college graduates do not have. As Terry said yesterday, the school is different from when we arrived, and it will be different when we come back, but that is okay. While we've had a number of experiences at W&L, I want to take a minute to reflect on what I believe are some of our lessons and skills that all of us will take away from this place. First, W&L taught us the meaning and value of personal integrity. Washington & Lee's honor system is built on principles of honesty and respect. While the honor system afforded us the opportunity to take tests freely and leave items unguarded, the community of trust at W&L digs far deeper than that. This system, serving as the bedrock of communal relations, enables us to have more genuine and true connections with one another, as we know that each W&L student has graduated held to the same high standard of personal integrity. Our class was particularly unique. As students at other institutions were required to use rigid computer lockdown technology when in-person testing wasn't available, we were trusted to produce our assignments honorably and distanced from any monitoring. This system has also taught us that personal integrity should extend beyond our time at W&L. And as we enter the professional world, we will know that we can trust the W&L alums we interact with. My second takeaway is about the W&L community. And I recognize that phrase is cliche, but it's cliche because of how important it is. All people who attend W&L have immediate and strong connections that manifest in support of one another. The vibrancy of the W&L community is something we are all so used to, but it's important to recognize just how unique it is. Not only do we have the 444 people walking across this stage today in our community, but also the thousands of alumni who came before us. One of the best examples of the W&L community in action was in 2022, when a student the year below us was in a tragic accident during a spring break trip. That student, given the massive cost of his treatment, faced significant financial burdens. Almost immediately, a GoFundMe was created and over 2,200 people donated. The W&L community will always have our backs. So, what do we do now? I know many of us are feeling both fear and excitement considering what lays ahead, but what do we do now that we've been given this community, this sense of personal responsibility, and this world-class liberal arts education? I think my final takeaway is gratitude. Whether it was by your parents, generous donors, or by whatever other means, we all were afforded the opportunity to spend 4 years at this institution. That is something that only a very small portion of the country and the world are given the chance to do. We must be grateful for all of those that helped us get here. We can also be grateful for all the faculty and staff that made our time here what it was. The countless hours that professors spent helping us in their offices, the number of events made possible by hardworking staff, and the support offered to students by the university and students themselves. All of these are incredible privileges that we can all be grateful for. We can be grateful for the late-night dance floors and conversations on and off campus. Grateful that Levitating by Dua Lipa served as spring term anthem in 2021. Grateful for Sunday morning D-Hall omelets, all-day sunrises in Mexicoop. Grateful for walks on the Chessie Trail, hikes on House Mountain, and floats down the Maury River. Grateful that our first year at W&L, we met lifelong friends as we acted like children in Gaines and Graham Lee's. Grateful our sophomore year, we were able to remain on campus all together. Grateful our junior year, we were able to all see the third-year village and be impacted by that area. And grateful our senior year, we were able to live in some pretty interesting off-campus houses. Grateful for each and every aspect of W&L that many of us have taken for granted. Finally, I hope we take this gratitude with us. American author John Ortberg said that gratitude is the ability to experience life as a gift. Life is not always going to be easy, it won't always be fair, and I know so far it hasn't been perfect. but through gratitude, we can actively be thankful for the experiences we have, as well as the love and the support we receive from others. I am grateful for each of you and how we have all shaped each other's college experiences. I hope to see all of you watching the sunrise together as we leave this chapter of our W&L experience and join the alumni community. Thank you.
Thank you, James. It's a privilege to address the class of 2023 on the occasion of your commencement. I would have been so proud to be selected as your speaker, but of course the president always delivers the graduation remarks at Washington and Lee. Despite not having been chosen, it is a great honor to speak to you on this day, which marks your passage from students to graduates of W&L. This is my 7th commencement speech, and you'd think by now I'd know just what to say. But I don't recycle my remarks from one year to the next. And as I sat down to write, I was feeling the pressure. What if I'm fresh out of wisdom? So I did what anyone struggling to write a paper on a tight deadline would do in 2023. I asked ChatGPT to do it for me. It opened with a warning. The system is not intended to give advice, which is clearly a legal disclaimer to prevent getting sued in case your lives go badly because you allow artificial intelligence to tell you what to do. But then the advice started flowing anyway. ChatGPT urges you to embrace your curiosity, be resilient, conduct yourselves with integrity, and treat others with respect. That actually sounds pretty good. I could say those things. In fact, I have said those things. ChatGPT just committed an honor violation. Not to mention the speech it gave me was only 2 pages long and it ended in the middle of an incomplete sentence. So I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. One thing I can do that ChatGPT can't is remember sitting, as you do now, surrounded by classmates, wearing identical gowns, waiting to receive our diplomas. It's a surreal experience. This is the moment toward which you've been working diligently since you entered college. But it's also a transition so momentous and abrupt that it's difficult to believe it's actually taking place. It's an out-of-body experience. It feels like it must be happening to someone else. Your minds are swirling with emotion as you anticipate a cruelly short time from now, saying tearful goodbyes to your closest friends with whom you've spent these precious years, simultaneously sharing joyful reunions with your families who are bursting with pride and happiness, and then facing the hard, inescapable reality of driving down the road while your beloved campus recedes in the rearview mirror. It's also a safe bet you didn't get a lot of sleep last night. All of which makes it difficult for you to listen to me. On my graduation day, a very distinguished speaker delivered what I am sure were wise remarks, from which I certainly had much to learn. I can't recall a word he said. I was focused on the pressing question of whether my relationship with my girlfriend would survive long distance. Can guess how that one turned out. So I realize I'm competing for your attention, but I'm going to keep talking anyway, and you can let me know at your 10th reunion whether anything I say this morning sticks with you. Let's begin by reflecting on the times in which you've gone to college. They've been a little different. When you arrived in August 2019, you did all the things that generations of W&L students have done before you. Unpack your bags and boxes in the sweltering Virginia heat, bid emotional farewells to your parents, siblings, and dogs, eagerly greet your new roommates, embark on adventures in the Appalachian Mountains, pledge to uphold the honor system. We had a great fall term. And then things got complicated. In March of 2020, COVID descended upon us, and you had to pack your bags and head home abruptly. The pandemic changed every aspect of our lives in previously unimaginable ways. 2 months later, 3 years ago today, in fact, George Floyd was murdered, sparking protests and calls for racial reckoning across the country. In January of 2021, the United States Capitol was stormed by Americans who refused to accept the results of the presidential election. And a year after that, Russia invaded Ukraine. reasserting claims to Soviet empire that we thought had been extinguished when I was your age. That's a lot of bad news, and it's tough to look away. The issues are important, and the coverage of them is not only ubiquitous, but also weirdly compelling. So much so that the term doom scrolling, which refers to the practice of compulsively consuming negative information, was named the word of the year in 2020. As Daniel Henninger has written in the Wall Street Journal, quote, "On social media, the sky is always falling somewhere." Let me interrupt this gloomy train of thought to bring you a public service announcement in the form of the W&L mission statement. Washington and Lee University provides a liberal arts education that develops students' capacity to think freely, critically, and humanely, and to conduct themselves with honor, integrity, and civility. Graduates will be prepared for lifelong learning, personal achievement, responsible leadership, service to others, and engaged citizenship in a global and diverse society. The very purpose of this institution is to help you become capable people who lead lives of consequence. And you can't be the kind of people that we're devoted to helping you become, or do the kinds of things that we're devoted to preparing you to do, without being well informed about the world you inhabit, including its many serious problems. But there's a difference between being well informed, which you should be, and being sucked into a vortex of negativity, which you should avoid. Drowning in a sea of bad news isn't good for you. It can make you anxious and depressed. It can exhaust your capacity for empathy and make you numb to the needs of others. And it doesn't do the world any good. It produces a sense of resignation in the face of overwhelming challenges that inhibits us from taking action to make the world a better place. Moreover, when many people consume and recirculate news from the same sources, when negative stories go viral, it produces a kind of mental pandemic that makes some kinds of problems even worse. Take the recent collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. The chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, Patrick McHenry, called it, quote, "the first Twitter-fueled bank run." Bank runs happen when depositors become nervous that a bank does not have adequate cash on hand to satisfy the demand for withdrawals. When those nervous depositors withdraw their money, the bank's liquid reserves dwindle, which erodes the confidence of more depositors. Demands for withdrawals accelerates, and if it exceeds the bank's ability to respond, then the collective fear of the bank's failure becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and the bank actually fails. Bank runs and other forms of groupthink that do very real damage are older than the internet. But social media enables information, misinformation, fear, and outrage to spread more quickly and widely than ever before. Daniel Henninger described the Silicon Valley Bank collapse as, quote, "a case study in the bad things we do to ourselves using the platform or trampolines of social media." He asked rhetorically, quote, "who knew that the madness of crowds would become everyday life in the 21st century?" And he offered a diagnosis. The problem is the rise and spread of our own unmediated human credulousness on an unprecedented scale. Unmediated human credulousness. That's a problem a philosopher like myself can love. It's an epistemological problem. People are too quick to believe things with terrible social and political consequences. And as Henninger rightly observed, quote, "no piece of legislation will solve human credulousness." You can't pass a law requiring people to get better at justifying their beliefs. You can, but a lot of people would go to jail. Legislation is not the answer. The answer is education, liberal arts education. What is liberal arts education, and how can it mitigate the problem of unmediated human credulousness? The term liberal arts is commonly used, but rarely understood. I like to explain it by means of analogy to the martial arts. The martial arts are the disciplines that prepare you for war. The liberal arts are the disciplines that set you free. They liberate you from your own credulousness. A good liberal arts education teaches you not to believe everything you read or hear. It teaches you to ask good questions, to make careful distinctions, to discern what is important, to sift the probable from the improbable. Those habits of mind enable you to distinguish trustworthy from untrustworthy sources, which is not the same thing as identifying sources that share your point of view. It involves gravitating to sources representing many points of view that provide accurate facts, apply cogent analysis, and draw justified conclusions. Armed with reliable information and the ability to think freely, critically, and humanely, which you have honed here at W&L, you are prepared to be conscientious interpreters of the world. Your education has prepared you to avoid a credulous rush to judgment based on the latest viral sensations on Twitter or Fizz. By disrupting unmediated credulousness, liberal arts education provides a powerful antidote to doom scrolling. It trains you not to mistake what is superficially interesting or scandalous or trending for what is truly important. And it transforms anxiety, resignation, and despair into confidence, resolve, and hope. Hope is not wishful thinking. Hope is warranted optimism. Amanda Ripley, writing in the Washington Post, characterizes hope, quote, as a cognitive skill, one that helps people reject the status quo and visualize a better way. If it were an equation, she continues, it would look something like hope equals goals plus roadmap plus willpower. Hope is rooted in justified beliefs about how the world actually is, about how it could be, and about what lies within our power to accomplish. Liberal arts education develops our capacity to form the justified beliefs that kindle hope, and in so doing, it motivates, orients, and sustains our efforts to improve the world. It offers better living through epistemology. I encourage the philosophy department to start printing t-shirts. Engaged citizenship, your citizenship, begins with the traits of intellect and character that are cultivated by a good liberal arts education. Your education has prepared you to assess what can be improved and to have the courage to speak up about it. Don't stop at finding fault, placing blame, or pointing fingers. Figure out how to make things better, and figure out how you can make a difference. If something needs to be done, roll up your sleeves and get to work. Persuade others to join you. Responsible leadership, your leadership, is less about commanding those who answer to you or criticizing those who don't than it is about exerting a positive influence, showing others by your own example what matters and why and what you can accomplish together. We have high hopes for you, and because of you, our hopes are high. Your families, your friends, your teachers, your coaches, your mentors, we know how much you can do, and we're excited to see you do it. But we also know you can't do everything. You're talented and energetic and ambitious, but no one can do everything, and no one should feel that he or she should. As you embark on this next phase of your life, find work that's meaningful to you and do it well. Get your foot inside a door that you want to enter, and make yourself indispensable with your attitude, your skill, and your effort. Stick with it as long as you love it. If your passion for the particular path that you're on starts to wane, don't be afraid to change courses. Your major doesn't have to determine your first job, and your first job doesn't have to determine your career. Keep your eyes and your mind open for other possible paths. If you work hard, new doors will appear and open, often when you least expect. And if you choose to walk through them, you'll be surprised where they will lead. I don't know where they will lead. Neither does ChatGPT. I asked. ChatGPT confesses, quote, as an AI language model, I can't predict your future. But that's okay. Unpredictability is part of the fun. As your interests and projects and commitments change over time, let what persists be your resolve to make a difference. And your confidence that the education you received here at Washington and Lee will see you through it all. I look forward to seeing you at your 10th reunion and to hearing where life has taken you and to asking whether you remember anything I've said today. But for now, I send you on your way with congratulations, pride, and my very best wishes. Thank you. And now for the main event. Having declared you ready to make us proud as graduates of this fine university, let's make it happen. Provost Hill will present the candidates to receive their degrees. Their names will be read in alphabetical order.
Will all the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science please rise? President Dudley, I have the honor to present 453 candidates for baccalaureate degrees. They have been examined by the faculty and approved by the Board of Trustees. I ask you by your official act to confer upon them their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Washington and Lee University, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby confer upon you, respectively, the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science of Washington and Lee University. Congratulations.
Grace Delaney Abercrombie, cum laude. Abdelrahman Hishem Aboita, honors in computer science, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. John Theron Westlake Abrams, Jr. James Bulkey Abbott. Cade Maximus Adamski. Tahila Virtue Adekobe. Kaylin Hausawa Adler. Christian Xavier Agreda. Clara Patricia Albacete, honors in environmental studies, cum laude. Cordelia Margaret Ann Aldridge, cum laude. Nell Francis Alexander. Luke Townsend Allison. Mustafa Salah Al-Khatib. Michael Joseph Allen. Olivia Isabel Allen, cum laude. Sarah Willett Allen. Jens Eric Ames. Praise Apata. Ahmad Omed Arman. Stuart Hayes Baker. Elene Baktesde. Georgia Nicole Ballou, cum laude. Ashton Williams Ballou. Walter Henry Barden, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Barnes. Harold Hamilton Behringer. Leah Carmen Barrow, in absentia. Susanna Busnet, magna cum laude. Samuel Frederick Bass. Matthew James Bates, cum laude. Nicholas Pietro Beatrice, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Bobie. Dylan Jeffrey Bex. Kian Owen Bell, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Gail Bernard, honors in philosophy, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Susanna Lockridge Burrell. Anna Elizabeth Blackburn, honors in English, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. James Welch Blatchford IV, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Cameron Thomas Blizzard. Alyssa Nayungi Borthwick. Grace Hamilton Boudreau, magna cum laude. Ava Marie Busey, honors in art history. Samuel Ryan Boyd, cum laude. Evan Patrick Brady. George Humphrey Bryn, cum laude. Emily Kate Brookfield, honors in English, magna cum laude. Caroline Kelly Brown, honors in English, magna cum laude. Javana Lily Brown. Estrella Corazon Burks Para, honors in theater, cum laude. Emma Claire Butler. Garnet Williamson Bird II. Sadie Charles Kalame, magna cum laude. Jack Charles Callan. Cole Vincent Kumili. Jillian Bryn Cantrell, cum laude. Grace Tatum Capeless. Arthur Carvalho Rodriguez, in absentia. Hadley Alexandra Cashman. Zoe Grace Cass. William Louis Catalano. Christina Marie Cavallo, cum laude. Carter Holly Chandler, honors in philosophy, cum laude. John Francis Chapman. Alice Chin, cum laude. Elias Chikili. Caleb Minjay Cho. Blake Silmy. Jacob Dylan Cirencioni. Chloe Michaela Susevich. Sarah Ann Clark, cum laude. Kyle Patrick Clark. Madison Elizabeth Clubb. Peter McNulty Klein. Taylor James Khaleesi, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Charles William Colby. Elizabeth Mary Coman. Finn Connor, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Carson Brent Cooley, magna cum laude. Jared Alexander Cordova. Savannah Marie Corey, cum laude. Parker Edward Corley. Blake Stores Cote. Darcy Lynn Creed. Catherine Morgan Crosby. Harry Dodd Critcher Jr., cum laude. Christopher Isaiah Curtis, in absentia. Robert Williams Daniels. Bratil Ann Danapour. Harper Elise Darden, cum laude. Peter George Davin, cum laude. Ian Matthew Davis. William Brown Davis. Julio Matthias D'Alessandrini. Tyrese Kendrick Del Casal. Belen Delgado Mio. Anna Claire Dennis, magna cum laude. Julian Joel DeVasti. Matthew Ryan DeVoy. Catherine Drew Virginia Dewing. Audrey Ray Dietz. James Nimmo Dixon. Ashlyn Grace Doan. Sean Patrick Doherty. Grace Elizabeth Donahue, cum laude. Anna Dorta. Elizabeth Townsend Dotterer. Merrill Boone Dowdy. Douglas Kennedy Draken. Elizabeth Joyce Driscoll. Charlotte Stewart Dross. Samuel Monahan Dugan. Ellen Elizabeth Doolin. James Franklin Eaton. Todd Aaron Eccles, cum laude. Cadence Olivia Edmonds. Elizabeth Lee Edwards. Kellen Thomas Egan. Chloe Margaret Elabash. Lauren Marie Ellens, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Gabrielle Elise Imge, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Allie Lynn Engfer. Sarah Ashton Ennis. Carl Lucas Erdman. Garrett Michael Erickson. Anna Sophia Estrada Ham, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude, in absentia. Nevin O'Brien Etter. Eric Carl Ivancion, cum laude. Mark Fasciaco, honors in economics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Eleanor Reeve Biddle Finstermacher. Deborah Johannes Finta. Lyra Catherine Fisher, cum laude. Kaylee Lynn Fitzgerald. Kara Ann Flannery, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Joshua Eugene Florence, in absentia. Lottie Vereen Fallon. Colin Lawrence Frazee. Matthew Raymond Fricker. Dario Fumarola. Jonathan Robert Gagnon. Hannah Grace Galbraith. Matthew Callum Gallagher. Nina Teresa Gallagher. Jillian May Gallardo. Angie Jacqueline Gallegos Reyes. Caroline Marie Gard, cum laude. Sarah Nicole Gaston. Graciela Gaviria Garrido. Eric McDonald Gazen, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Bamalek Demalesh Gaitaka, honors in economics. Seliom Ubaba Gobez. Cameron Jamaica Godsey. Sherman E. Golden III. Sydney Brooke Goldstein. Madeline Lyle Goodlett. Camilla Mellon Gowan, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Mary Elaine Graham, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Stella Rose Graham. Claire Olivia Grant. Henry Kent Griffin. Jason Gu, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Rebecca Grace Haggie. Wyatt Reed Hamilton. Tierney Bridget Harmon. Benjamin Gabriel Harrington. Lindsay Brione Harrison. Virginia Waters Harrison. Tanner Deal Heron. Robert Cathcart Harvey. Brianna Noel Hatch, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Alexis Colby Hatfield. Sophia Reimers Haw. Parker Nicole Hawk, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Margaret Frances Howley. Luke Thomas Hawes. Lauren Faith Hayes, cum laude. Sarah Langua Hain, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. William Trask Heitman. Samuel Anthony Herndon. Elizabeth Ann Hertzberg. Kenneth Benjamin Hess, honors in classics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Catherine Mingwei Ho, honors in accounting, cum laude. Catherine Frances Hoffley. Scott Matheson Holcomb. Henry Moore Holliday. Claire Marie Hotze. Sarah Elizabeth Houston. Harris Skelly Hubbard, cum laude. Haley Huber, cum laude. Derek Martin Hughes. Parodies Pascal Ekarezi. Alexandra Elise Emery. Emily Catherine Ingram. Joseph Cressy Jackson. Peter Van Hook James. Abhinav Janamunchi, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Naveed Javed. Nafisa Jeb, honors in philosophy, cum laude. Claire Elizabeth Jenkins, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. William Surowek Jewett. Kai John Blunch. Victoria Christine Johnson. Margaret Ann Johnston. Anna Corinne Jones. Robert Timothy Jones. Claire Jennings Callan. Megan Clark Canopy, cum laude. Virginia Todd Cowderts, cum laude. Louis Bailey Keel. Garrett Park Kelafont, magna cum laude. Alexander Charles Kelly. Maxwell Feldman Kelly. Ryan Sharp Kemsky. Mary Camilla Kennedy, magna cum laude. Sunhee Elizabeth Kim Cruz. Lila Marianne Kimball. Bonner Elizabeth Kirkland, cum laude. Catherine Elizabeth Klingler. Joanne Bowen Coe, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Irina Nikolava Kolova. Dawson McLeod Kramer. Vivek Kumar. Daniel Kenji Kung. Michael Tafadswa Kudzanzira. We now pause momentarily as we switch sides. Soon we'll resume with the other half of the candidates. Hal Vernon Lackey. Adam Thomas Lamberti. Caroline Elizabeth Lawson. Leslie Taylor Lee. Wee C. Lee, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Natalie Marie Ledesma, cum laude. Clara Cochran Lee. Colin McMullen Legg. John Howard Lewis. Abigail Elizabeth Lieb. Jennifer Lauren Lisovich. Kit Carson Lombard. Stuart McClendon Long IV. Parker Nicole Longgood. Aiden James Latrulio. Elisa Liu, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Ryan Downey Luth. Kyle Raymond Lutz. Maria Christina Albau Luzarin. Grace Murphy McDonald, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Jamal Abdul Wakil Magoti, magna cum laude. Matthew Peter Mayjoy. Owen Regal Malcolm, honors in accounting, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Michael John Maley. Nobel Sintayehu Minaya. Richard Allen Manigault. Ren Percival Markley, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Anne Elliott Marin. Annie Miranda Martin. Sarah Louise Martin. Andrew James Martinelli. Samuel Kennedy Masser, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Matthews, Phi Beta Kappa. Ian McFarlane Totes McCabe, cum laude. Jacob Antonio McCabe. Mary Jane McConnell. Sloman Rhett McDermott. Isaiah Benjamin McGee. Colin Adrian McEnroe. Michael Paul McLaughlin. Ethan Ray McMillan. Andrew Peyton McNider. Margaret Greer McSwain. Sharon Maria Mendieta Ramirez, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Claire Emily Mersel. Ryan Davis Messick. Marta Mikos. Edward Ellerby Miller, in absentia. John Eastman Tuya Mills. John Bingham Mitchell, Jr., honors in history. Alexandra Adriana Miyamoto. Mary Elizabeth Mosek. Brendan Matthew Moringer, honors in geology. Tatiana Chion Monteleone. Charles Livingston Moore. Walker McMurtry Moore. Emily Ann Moran, honors in theater, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. George McCall Moorhead, Jr. Thomas Dylan Morrell, honors in politics, magna cum laude. William Bartron Morris. Amber Madeline Morrison. Lily Catherine Mott, cum laude. Tanasia Darby Moy Green, honors in sociology and anthropology, magna cum laude. Logan Matthew Moyer. Michael Amon Mullane. Addison Trent Mulligan. Mackenzie Anning Mullen. Thomas Patrick Mulvey. Teresa Caroline Muneses, magna cum laude. Emma Ruth Murphy. Mary Catherine Murphy, cum laude. Victor Nudlovu. Kang Dan Nguyen, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Wen Hong Zhang, cum laude. Nicholas Q. Nguyen. Trong T. Nguyen. Christian Robert Knoll, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Jessica Raquel Ogden. Douglas Donnan O'Keefe, cum laude. Misoma Efechuku Okolocha. Casey Wieland O'Leary, cum laude. Smith Connor O'Leary, cum laude. Chloe Marie Olson. Emily Helen O'Neill. David Ikechukwu Onye Jakwe. Evan Thomas Owen. Grace Elizabeth Owens. Mark Oleg Osboyd, cum laude. William Tyler Palisha. Bryson Andrew Parker. Riley Timmy Parker. Alexis Marie Parks. Eloisa Noel Pinner, honors in art history. Zachary Tyler Perkins. Avalon Elizabeth Purnell, cum laude. Gabriel Patrick Perry. John O'Connor Peterson. Tarrington Rose Maya Phillips, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Lily McNeil Henkin. Raul Pinol Pascual. Paul Thompson Pivarato. Robert Edwards Poindexter. Hudson Patrick Picorni. Landon James Potter. Hannah Grace Puckett, magna cum laude. Gaiwen Chen, cum laude. William Munford Ellis Rishal III. Simona Slanavoa Radova. Blake Hughes Ramsey, cum laude. John Thomas Raymond, magna cum laude. Lauren Taylor Reese. Elizabeth Payson Richardson, cum laude. Rex Hawley Riefler. Lucas Colin Roberton. Cassandra Powell Robinson. Holden Reeves Robinson. Logan Davis Robinson, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Pierce McGinnis Robinson. Jensen Rocha, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Sophia Virginia Roche. Diana Alejandra Rodriguez. Case Anthony Rohrbacher, magna cum laude. Andrea Fatima Rojas. Francis Patrick Rooney III, cum laude. Jillian Eve Rosenwasser. Mackenzie Logan Rukanik. Mitchell Paul Salvino, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Elijah De Castro Sampson. Blake Allen Sanchez. Annalise Margaret Schneider. William Joseph Schnorr. Allison Haley Schwab. Robert Warren Seeds, cum laude. Nicholas Selah Seifert, cum laude. Carter Harris Shannon. Lauren Armstrong Shelby. Eliana Lassiter Sherman. Mary Mitchell Sherrill. Austin James Scholes. Henry Hannah Singleton. Benjamin Slater. Patrick James Slattery, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Charles Goodwin Smith. Emma Louise Smith. Sophia Colette Smith, cum laude. Tyler Marshall Smith. William Sellers Smith, cum laude. Jessica Elizabeth Snyder. Jonah Samuel Son, cum laude. Andrew Christopher Sonchi. Sarah Carter Sorensen. John Henry Sorrells IV. Jorge Bowner Sotoventura. Natalie Rebecca Spangler, honors in English, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Michael Howell Spadell. Hannah Amalia Spencer, cum laude. Alessandra Caitlin Stankiewicz, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. John Henry Stearns II, honors in philosophy, honors in economics. Nicholas Ransom Steinert, magna cum laude. Cecily Rose Stern. Owen York Stickney, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Patrick Robert Stoffel. Anna Elizabeth Strawn. Grace Ann Strickland. Maria Strosova, cum laude. Mairead Honora Studeford. Diana Luckett Sturdy, cum laude. Madison Riley Sumatra. Andrew Jonathan Tartakovsky, cum laude. Sarah Grace Teagle, honors in chemistry. Max William Boyd Thomas, honors in economics, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Gabriel Lee Thornton. Frederica Dunning Tobiason, cum laude. Carolyn Elizabeth Todd. Matthew Evan Todd. James Holland Torbert, honors in philosophy, cum laude. Sheikh Umar Torre. Ashley Nicole True. Christopher James Tucker, cum laude. Catherine Binicky Tucker. Robert Taylor Tucker, cum laude. Sydney Alexis Leah Toon, honors in sociology and anthropology, cum laude. Peyton Kinnear Tysinger, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Jacob Peyton Umberger, cum laude. Samantha May Van Bell. Lane Virginia Van Linton. Catherine Ellen Vandiver. Silvana Varela Benavides. Elizabeth Day Varner. Alexander Clary Vaught. Connor M. Burritt. Annalisa Waddick, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Ryan Alexander Walker, honors in accounting. Thomas Dylan Walmsey, cum laude. Bryce Edward Walsh. Jaya Wong. John Coleman Ward, Jr., honors in philosophy, magna cum laude. Windsor Jens Warlick. Timothy Mark Warren, magna cum laude. Sarai Minay Warwick. Beckett Isabel Waters. Shamish Lamar Waters. Maxwell Isaac Weaver. Ashley Elizabeth Webb, cum laude. Brenna Dalen Weiner. Alexander Wirtz, in absentia. Virginia Slater Weston. Campbell Carr White, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Lindsay Diane White. Colin James Whiting, cum laude. Grace Ann Wilichowski. Kay Alexander Takashi Wilkerson, cum laude in absentia. Eliza Ann Wilkes. Grace Galerno Williams. Madison Greer Williams, magna cum laude. Samuel Taylor Williams, Jr. Alexander Shackleton Wynant. Hannah Glenn Wendell. Caroline Everett Wise, cum laude. Samuel Tatum Wise. Sarah Radcliffe Whitpin. Yosef Woolday. Anne Stanford Walter. Thomas Frost Wood, in absentia. Gabriel Newcup Worthington, honors in economics, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Catherine Jia, Phi Beta Kappa, summa cum laude. Yilin Zhu, Phi Beta Kappa, magna cum laude. Carolyn Elizabeth Young. Alexander Cox Zeringer. Tyler Gray Zidlixi.
Please join me in congratulating the great class of 2023. Well done. Please be seated. It's now my duty to bring us to our conclusion. Members of the class of 2023, you are now officially alumni. Maybe a little difficult to process. So let's ease the transition by reminiscing about a few of the signal moments of your student days. The acceptance letter you received from the admissions office, moving into your first year room, early morning walks along the colonnade to class, the final game of your career as a general, your senior recital, the staff member who helped you out during a rough patch, the faculty member who helped you discover an aptitude for art or science or philosophy and nurtured it into a passion, the friends you made who will be part of your lives forever, who will celebrate your marriages, the births of your children, your future accomplishments. Pause for one final second and contemplate this setting in which we find ourselves, one of the most beautiful in all of higher education. Consider the legacy of which you are now a part. Forever, you will be known as a graduate of Washington and Lee University, and you should carry that distinction not only with pride, but also with responsibility and a sense of honor. Come back frequently and know that while the geographic relationship between you and the university will change, the bonds of friendship with the people you have come to know will endure and grow still stronger. Think of us often, just as we will continue to think of you. We wish you well, Godspeed and good luck. The 2023 commencement proceedings are hereby adjourned.